Hey, it's Clay, and I want to show you how I use FOMO, the fear of missing out, to make money day trading stocks. And right up front, quick disclosure, this is not going to be all in theory. I'm just going to set up a little bit of context, and then I'm going to show you, using some of my personal day trading results, how all this plays out in the real world of trading. So just very limited theory, more so just context, and then we'll get right to some real life trading results so you can see, like I said, how what I talk about ultimately plays out in the real world of day trading. And then, set up only the broad context here. You're probably saying, wait a second, Clay, FOMO is a bad thing, right? I've heard other traders talk about it, or through my own personal trading upon self-reflection, those times where I've created headaches and heartache and, in a very practical sense, lost money for myself. It's really because I've experienced that emotion of FOMO, the fear of missing out, and it's caused me to do some bad things. And you're right, it is bad. But that brings up the question of, well, is there another angle we can look at things? Meaning, if it's bad for one group of traders, could it potentially be good for another group of traders? And yeah, absolutely. And that is how I use FOMO, and that is how I want you to use FOMO to make money when you're day trading those stocks. And this could be used in swing trading too, but it's really a question of, all right, where is FOMO happening? Where is it probably happening? Because again, there's no guarantees in the market, but at that situation, if you can look at it and say, you know what, there's likely some FOMO. There's likely traders that are behaving, their emotions are taking over. They have the fear of missing out. And if you can identify those, then you go to the next question of, okay, as somebody that's observing this, is there any ways that I can make money? And yeah, there absolutely is. So let me go here and show you the backbone of this trade, and then I'm actually going to show you how the trade played out live in real time. So on my screen here, you see Microsoft, and this is the trade that you are going to eventually see all play out. But let me set up a little backbone here, like I was saying, and this is all around the premise of me going short. Now, if you're a beginner to the market, if you're just getting started, what does going short mean? Well, going short, shorting a stock, at the core means if the value of that stock goes down, then guess what? You as the day trader, the swing trader, make money. Your account actually grows. I get it. Super bizarre to hear the first time, but completely possible. And I offer lots of other videos about how it works on the channel. In fact, I'll put a link down below to one just in case you are a total beginner and you're like, wait a second, what, Clay? Did you just say you can make money if prices go down? How does that work? Like I said, I'll put a video down below. But that's the premise here, is that my focus was on this. Meaning, I wanted to see prices go down. That is how I thought I could make money, which leads to the question of, okay, well, if I'm looking to make money when prices go down, where do I think some potential fear of missing out is playing out? Well, let's ask yourself, when do you have the fear of missing out from the long side, meaning when you were buying a stock? And if you go through Microsoft here, there's a couple of very key dynamics here. Now, let me, full disclosure, there is more that goes into this than what I'm portraying here. I'm just trying to portray the general idea, the general kind of rule of thumb, the idea, the thought process that you should have as a trader, where you can look at these charts, you can look at trades from multiple angles and help develop trading ideas for yourself. So in this situation, there's going to be a couple of resistance levels that are broken. I'm not saying, hey, find a time where there's two resistance levels broken and then go short. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying this is what my thought process was that began to lead me to the fact of, you know what, I think there's going to be some FOMO that's occurring out there. So to set up the context here, like I said, Microsoft, on this day, Microsoft had some news, and you can tell basically right when the news came out, right there. I mean, volume came pouring in and the price just absolutely started to explode. So right there, we know you have some FOMO out there. For whatever reason, people were, well, not for whatever reason, I know the reason is the news kind of just came out in the middle of the day. So people would have just said, oh, wow, what happened with Microsoft? And they're going to pull up the chart. They're going to see this. And what are they going to think? The longs are going to think, oh, wow, look at that move I missed out on. Okay, well, I missed it. All right, well, I don't want to FOMO though. I need to be disciplined. And then, a lot of them very well could have recognized this area right here. There's this resistance line right there. So you can see right there, the price pulled back, came up, bounced around, and who knows, maybe they hesitated. Maybe if you've ever day traded, if you ever traded with real money, it's one thing to see things, but to actually execute, that's another level. That's where a bigger challenge becomes. So right here, you could have a situation where people were watching around and they saw it break, and but they just didn't do anything about it, and they're thinking, uh-oh, look, I was right. It broke out and it's going. So now what? That's the second miss, right? The first miss in their mind is, well, they missed the big surge right there. And then all of a sudden, this could be potential miss number two. Now, again, do I know for sure this is what's going on? I don't know for sure. But from a general, just knowing there's millions of other traders, there's millions of market participants, you know that this has got to be going in one form or another. Because, I mean, I felt this before. Have you ever felt anything that I'm describing where you miss seeing something, then you identify it, and then you miss it again, and then you're that much more frustrated with yourself, and you're thinking, what's my, like I said, I don't know, maybe I'm alone, but I've been there many times before. So a great way to make money from the short side is just to put yourself in the shoes that you've been in from the long side, and then just do the opposite. So here we have a situation where that was a second miss. And then there's another area that pops up, and these people could be saying, well, you know, there's another resistance, just the highs. Maybe this thing can try to break to new highs. And if it breaks to new highs, well, then you know what? That's going to be an area where that would be another breakout trade opportunity. And you can see that's exactly what happened here. It broke out at that point. And that's where I thought, you know what? I think there's some FOMO going on. I think there's a fear of missing out. So because of that, I'm going to act. Now, again, it's not just because it broke out of highs. I'm not saying, hey, if something breaks to new highs, you go short. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying based on how things were behaving in this situation, and then based off some other little formations that I was recognizing and seeing. And I'm not going to get into all the nitty-gritty details because, again, like I said, this is just a broad sense of how I want your mind to begin to work. How if you start to view the market from different angles, you can actually take something as FOMO and then leverage it in your favor. And in this situation, like I said, because of what I've mapped out, at that point, it became very, very interesting. Now, some patience was required, as you saw, but I mean, let's think about this. Think about what had been going on. Where was the price not that long ago? The price was all the way down here, and then it was all the way right there. So by the time it gets up to this area, yes, you're going to have FOMO, but what else are you going to have? I mean, if you want, pause the video real quick. So you're going to have FOMO, but what else are you going to have? See if you can get this right. So go ahead and pause. All right, if you paused, welcome back. If not, that was probably a little awkward as I just sat there. But, well, the other thing that you're going to have is you're going to have profit takers, right? You're going to have profit takers. Profit takers from where? Well, those people, I mean, think about it. Some people bought that breakout right there. They got in all the way down there. Some people bought that dip. Congratulations to them. Other people bought that breakout right there. And you know what? Breaking to new highs, hey, you know what? There's going to be momentum. There's probably going to be people that are what? FOMOing, fear of missing out. They missed all those other opportunities. Well, I'm finally getting in right now. So when you have both FOMO people and you have a bunch of people locking in those profits, you know what? Guarantee? No. But is it a situation where the FOMO may lead you to making some money? Well, let's see how this live trade played out. But it's really a question of, does this thing want to finally roll over? I mean, this thing, like I said, usually Microsoft doesn't move very quick at all, but in this situation, it is moving extremely fast. Let's see if this thing wants to actually get the break of 230 or if this is just a pause before this thing continues on with this big move. And I should know it is 10:43. So usually I'm done on the day by now. But I mean, if a nice setup comes along and Microsoft with the movement it's getting and the setup here, you know, I'm not opposed to trading later on in the day. But so yeah, the big question now is 230 finally going to let go? Is it going to let go as a support, or is it just going to keep on holding strong like it's been doing? So again, it breaks out, and you just saw how fast it got back up to 230. But can the price actually get some more downside pressure through that area? But yeah, wow. The 229.90s, very, very stubborn. So much so that I might have to take some more off the table here. I want to be a little bit more patient with it. But yeah, this thing does not seem to want to move to the downside. Or at least in the extent that I'd like to see it do it. taking off another 100 here just because I don't know if this thing is ultimately going to behave in my favor or not. So again, I'm still at risk of potentially losing money on the trade, but my much smaller risk now, given I've locked in I've locked in profits and my position size is now only 200 shares. But again, still the potential is there to lose money on the trade, which is okay. I'm green on the day, and the risk of losing some money with the potential reward of making a whole lot more, it's definitely worth it. But yeah, this 230 area, is it going to break or isn't it? I mean, we have a fantastic looking 5-minute right now. Bring that over. There's a 5-minute. I mean, you got to love that candle here and the location of the candle. But it's just really a question of, can the price actually push down through the 230 mark? Which it is being very, very stubborn with right now. Definitely a lot of selling, though, going on up here, too. So it's just a question of, are there going to be enough buyers to continue to support all the selling that continues to occur? There's very clearly people are offloading right now at 230, but there's plenty of people that are still willing to buy up here at 230. So are there just going to be more sellers than buyers? Are the sellers finally going to overwhelm the people that are, for whatever reason, wanting to buy up this high? We'll see. But right now, those buyers, they just keep on coming in. We're making a little bit of progress down to the 229.80s, but okay, now we're getting some momentum here. Okay, have 100 shares left now. Let's see if we can get this thing down below 229. I'll take off another 50 shares. Come on, get on down through there. Oh, well, 229 as to be expected. Behaved as a support. Let's see if the price wants to give it another go. So again, 229. Can the price actually push down through it? There it is, the break. Pulled off another 50 shares. So at this point, it is just all profit in my pocket. I am no longer at risk of this being a losing trade. I will look to pull off another 25 if it can get down below 228.50. But this move right now is getting relatively overextended. If it does go back over 230, I will stop out. So let's see. I don't even remember my entry point. My entry point was that. Okay, so basically I'll break even if this thing all of a sudden snaps back against me on my final 50 shares. But overall, a nice trade. Still in the trade, like I said, if this thing wants to keep on pulling backwards, or backward, yeah, I guess that's backwards, down. Down is probably more the accurate word. If this thing wants to keep on pulling down, then, the sky's the limit. And this is the best spot to be in as traders, where the only question I have right now is, how much money am I going to make? I mean, think about that. Not if I make money, but how much money am I going to actually make on this trade? Because it's already a winning trade. And as traders, this is the spot you want to be in. You want to put yourself in a position where quite literally the only stress you have is just not knowing how much money you're going to make. I like that stress. I like that stress quite a bit. Thinking about taking some off at 228.50 if it can get down through there. Or even better yet. But this thing is getting relatively overextended here on the 5-minute. But let's see if it can get enough momentum push to get down through 228.50. So it's knocking on the door. There we go. Excellent. Fantastic. So took off some more profits there. 25 shares still left in the position. Let's see, high of... So now if this thing goes up over 229, I will be out. I'll just use a mental stop for that. So 229, if it goes up, like I said, I'll stop out. Still got to watch the level 2s, given I'm doing a mental. I mean, I could see this thing wanting to bounce now It's made the pullback. It's made the move. But I could be wrong. And if this thing wants to keep on going in my favor, well, then that's awesome. I will take it. Where are we at? All right, not even 10 minutes. Let's see. Should I let this... I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. Should I keep the video rolling right now when not much is going on? Or should I just pause it and when it either looks like the price is going to go in my favor? Let me know. I'm kind of torn. All right, let's see. What is the high of that? High of 228. Okay. New stop loss, 228 is now if it goes up over 228.50. So just letting it work for me. As the price goes down in my favor, I'm going to lower my stop more and more. But if it does go over 228.50, I'll have to get out. Got to get out. So there we go. Nice. $258 on the trade. And I mentioned like in the setup, how long was that entire trade? It started at 9:41 and 53, or excuse me, 10:41 and 53, got out. So almost about a 10-minute trade. And there you go. Took some patience. The thing was stubborn. But you know what? Eventually became a situation where so many people, I don't know who was up there still buying and buying and buying at 230. But you know what? Eventually they ran out. And just as an update here so you can see the rest. Now I realize you saw all that, but it fell off. And then the rest of the day, you can see that basically nailed the top right there. Let me do this. You can see that it just went sideways, sideways, sideways. So it's not like the price ever collapsed or anything like that, but just went sideways the rest of the day, and then eventually did start to pull back that much more. But overall, it worked out, and it worked out very nicely. Patience was required, but the reason why it was easier to have that patience was because, in my mind at least, I understood what was going on. I knew that I was doing. I knew that there was FOMO out there. I knew that there would be profit taken out there because of, like I said, all those other different opportunities within the market where people probably got in with some good entry points. But once again, none of this is guaranteed to happen. The price could have just kept going. That's why risk management, that's why all that stuff definitely matters. But this is why, because of the thought process I was going for, because I knew I was using FOMO, it was much easier to have patience and just sit there and give the thing the chance to happen that I thought would happen, which ultimately did, and made $50 in like 10 minutes. Not too bad. $250, 10 minutes. For me, at least, I'm more than happy with it. So hopefully you found this helpful. Hopefully you now kind of have a better idea, better way of different angles you can view the market and ultimately turn, situations that are bad for one group of trader into, a good situation for you. And this can, of course, be applied on the long side too, right? If you can also say, well, where would be some bad spots for shorts? Where could a short, if somebody's going short, where could they be FOMOing? And then you can flip that around and try to play that for the long side. So it is a two-way street. It just happened to be in this one, I was a short trying to figure out where it would be a FOMO location for those longs and then trying to take advantage of it. So if you enjoyed this video, if you would like for me to make more like this, then quickest way to communicate that to me, just hit that like button. Super time efficient way to just let me know you enjoy these videos. Also, comments, questions, suggestions, please leave those down below. If you've ever watched any of my past videos, you know I do read and will reply to all comments. And then finally, check out the channel as a whole. If you enjoy the live trading bit of this video, then I have an entire playlist of just that are strictly live trade videos. So check those out, and then a lot of other videos on the channel. So if you like what you see enough to have to hit that subscribe button, as I'd love to have you to subscribe to the channel. So yeah, get out there and start using FOMO, but in your favor. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.